Welcome, guys. Let's begin. In this video, I have to start from negligence. In previous video, we saw some intentional torts, right? Now we come on to negligence. Basic understanding of negligence is that wrongdoer or defendant has been careless in a way that harms interest of victim or claimant. Negligence is obviously a careless behavior. So negligence is something wherein the person or the wrongdoer has committed an action due to his careless behavior, and because of that action the interest of the victim is harmed, or there is an injury which the other person has suffered because of that action of the defendant. For example, when defendant carries out an act of constructing something on her premises, she owes a duty of care towards the claimant, and that standard of duty of care depends on whether the claimant was on site or in neighborhood, as well as whether claimant was a lawful visitor or a trespasser. Now always remember, this word duty to care applies upon the immediate neighbors. Okay? Always remember. In negligence, this term duty of care is very important, and this duty of care applies to the immediate neighbors of the person. Okay, so now let me tell you what is immediate neighbors term. This means, see, neighbors in general term means the one who are living next to us, right? Or a neighborhood sort of thing. But in law, if I talk about negligence, duty of care, immediate neighbors, then it means the people, all those people who will be directly affected by your actions. Okay? Like for suppose, if a person A is driving negligently, means suppose he is drunk and he is driving at a very high speed. So now what is the situation? Some people are sleeping on the streets, and a child is there who is standing and waiting for his parents to come back home. So some people are sitting or sleeping on the streets and a child is waiting over here. So due to A's action, since A is driving negligently, rash driving, and he is drunk also, so if by chance he hits by this side of road, then all these people and this child will be affected. They will be injured, some will be critically injured, and it may happen that some people will die also. So all these people who are directly affected by the actions of A, these are immediate neighbors. Okay? So immediate neighbors mean the people, all those people who are directly affected due to the actions of the wrongdoer. So duty of care is to be maintained, because see, you are drunk and you are driving. So if by chance if any mishappening takes place, then the people on the streets will be directly affected due to it, right? They will be injured, some may die, so they're directly injured, and you have a duty of care to all those people. You have a duty that you don't kill people, right? आपकी ड्यूटी है कि आप देखें कि आपकी वजह से किसी को कुछ इंजरी ना हो. Like for suppose, if a person A builds a fencing around his house, okay, this is his house, and a person A builds a fencing around his house, and to prevent thieves or to prevent any trespassers, he is also on the fencing, he is putting a electric current, he is putting that along the fencing, above it an electric current will pass. So whosoever tries to jump over or tries to enter, trespass, he will get an electric shock and he will be injured and he will not be able to enter the house. So this is what A is planning to do. Now, first of all, it is an extreme action which he is taking. To prevent someone from entering into your house, fencing is enough with those mirrors that people generally put on the walls with cemented. But to put an electric current over all along the fencing is an extreme situation. And he also has a duty of care for its immediate neighbors, for all those people who are living in his neighborhood, for the people who will be visiting his house. He has a duty of care. If there is a shopkeeper who is selling, say, chips and biscuits, all these general merchant shop, and he has an expired product kept on the shelf. So a shopkeeper who is selling the articles has a duty of care for all the people who are coming to buy some or the other thing in his shop. He has a duty of care that he sells legit products to them, which is not expired and which is of good quality, so that if anybody falls ill because of the products that he consumes, if anybody falls ill because of the products that he had bought from his shop, let it be expired or a low quality one, then the shopkeeper will be liable. So that's how duty of care is seen. He has a duty to care for the customers, for the people who are coming to buy things from his shop. So because the people or the customers will be directly affected by his actions. If he is selling an expired product or a low quality product or an adulterated product, let it be any of these. If a person consumes a low quality or an expired product and he gets ill because of it, then the liability will be on the shopkeeper because he has sold such a product. So shopkeeper has a duty of care for all his customers. If a baker is baking a cake and by chance a lizard or a stone falls on it, he has not taken notice that a stone has fallen into the cake and he is decorating it. He's busy in decorating it. And the person, when it goes to the house and when the cake was cut, the child eats it and finds a stone piece. And if it happens that he was not able to recognize and it goes on his stomach, it forms a stone in his kidney. That all has happened because of the stoned cake that the child has consumed. And the stoned cake came from that baker's shop. So now again the baker will be responsible for being negligent. Sometimes doctors are also held liable for negligence, and that is known as medical negligence. In due course of doing operation, if due to negligence behavior, if they have not washed the medical equipments and the previous operation equipments without washing, they are using in another operation, then that is also negligence. Sometimes it shows in Facebook and all that this child has a safety pin or something in his stomach. So if it happens that in due course of operation a doctor has left due to careless behavior, he has left a safety pin or an equipment or his watch or whatever in the stomach or any organ of the person, then that will also be medical negligence. So I had given you so many examples of negligence. Negligence is nothing but a careless behavior because of which another person gets affected directly. So when defendant carries out an action of constructing something on her premises, see, as I told you that fencing example, fencing ho rahi hai, but then too you are responsible for the people who are coming into your house. Constructing an electric current overall all along the fencing is too extreme action to be taken up. Right? Okay, you are not allowing the trespassers, but if a legit person comes to your house and he is a family man, small children also come along with him, and by chance children have a habit of playing, no? So by chance if a child goes and touches upon the fencing and he gets an electric shock, then what? So putting an electric current all over the fencing is an extreme situation, and okay, you are preventing the trespassers or the thieves from coming into the house by doing that, but your legit and the people who are coming into your house, they may also get affected because of your action. So immediate neighbors, that means the people directly affected by your actions, you are liable for them. You have a duty of care towards them. I hope it is clear by so many examples that I had given. Generally, in order to argue successfully that defendant has been negligent, victim or claimant must establish 3 elements against the defendant in a tort of negligence case. Let's see what the 3 elements are that need to be proved by the victim against the defendant, that this defendant has done this negligence. What are those 3 elements? First, defendant owes a duty of care to the victim. If the defendant had a duty of care and he has breached it, he has violated that. Okay, so second element is breaching of that duty of care. Third is breach of duty of care resulted in harm suffered by the claimant. As I told you, I had given you so many examples. So these were the 3 elements. A duty of care, if there should be a duty of care, and if there is a duty of care, if it is breached, that is the second element, and if that breaching of duty of care has resulted in the harm to the claimant, that is the third element. Now, duty of care. Duty of care principle can be explained by citing an actual case law in a 1932 English case of Donegal versus Stevenson. Please remember, I always say these landmark judgments and the years may not be so important, but I really don't believe on schools, so they may give anything and everything in the pre-boards and all those their papers which they make. So depending upon the type of question paper that your school makes, you need or need not to remember the year dates. So this case, Donegal versus Stevenson, is very famous and it's important. All the landmark judgments, it's a landmark judgment, and all the landmark judgments are very important from the competitive point of view and from your school papers as well. So 1932 English case, claimant Donegal drank a soft drink manufactured by defendant Stevenson. So remember, always it is written as plaintiff versus defendant, and I had already told you plaintiff and defendant what they are. So claimant Donegal or the plaintiff Donegal had a drink manufactured by Stevenson. Drink had a decomposed snail in bottle that made the claimant ill. The court held that manufacturer owed duty of care to those who are reasonably foreseeable to be affected by the product. So duty of care is owed to those whom one can reasonably foresee as being potentially harmed. You can say immediate neighbors or the people who you can reasonably foresee, means a prudent man, a reasonable man can foresee, can predict that who all will be affected by his actions, and those who all will be the immediate neighbors. So obviously, if you are manufacturing a soft drink and packaging it in bottles and selling it to or sending it to various shops to be sold, then there will be people who will buy the bottle and they will consume it. So you have a duty of care to all those customers who will be reasonably drinking that, consuming that article. And if it happens that there is a decomposed snail, now I think you know what decomposed snail would be. So because of that decomposed snail, the person falls ill. So any person who is drinking that and falling ill, for that person, the manufacturer or the retailer had a duty to care. This principle is applicable to numerous fact situations. As another example, a landlord owes a duty of care with reasonable foresight to his tenants and should ensure that no hazardous substance like petrol is stored by him in the basement of apartment being dwelt by the tenants. Now, here is another example given, wherein a duty of care is shown that the landlord needs to be careful and he owes a duty of care towards his tenants, because it's obvious, it's a reasonable foresight that if, see, petrol is a hazardous substance in the sense that even if a single matchstick falls onto the open bottle in which that it is kept. Now matchstick doesn't mean ki unlighted. The lighted one, if it falls by mistake, or the lighted cigarette falls by mistake, then it is that it is highly inflammable and it will catch fire immediately, and it may happen that the whole house will get burnt. So the people, the tenants, their articles, their every their every belongings, that will also get burned. So a landlord, if he brings any sort of hazardous substance to his premises, then he has a duty of care towards those people who are also, except him, who are also living in that premises, and maybe that who are also near his house. Then we come on to breach of duty of care. So now you know what is duty of care. A duty of care to your immediate neighbors or to the people who you can reasonably foresee that they will be affected by your actions. Now we come on to breach of duty of care. Now that duty of care, if it is violated or breached, so first thing is that you have to prove, the claimant has to prove that there was a duty of care on part of defendant and I was his immediate neighbor. So I am, and if he has a duty of care, then that duty of care must be violated, and if that duty of care is violated, then there will be a harm that would be suffered by the claimant. So that harm, and you have to connect that harm to the immediate neighbor concept. Once the duty of care is proven, the claimant then must establish that duty of care was broken. That is, defendant was unsuccessful in fulfilling the duty of care in accordance with the standard of reasonableness, that is reasonable foresight. ओके, सो रीजनेबल फोरसाइट के स्टैंडर्ड में अगर वो नहीं देख पाया, अगर वो ऐसा प्रिडिक्ट ही नहीं कर पाया कि ये बंदा रीजनेबली मेरे एक्शन से अफेक्ट हो सकता है, और वो प्रिडिक्ट ना करने की वजह से, या अगर उसने प्रिडिक्ट कर लिया तब भी वो अपनी ड्यूटी उस तरीके से नहीं कर पाया और उसने कुछ उल्टा एक्शन कर दिया जिससे एडवर्सली अफेक्ट हुआ क्लेमेंट को, so we can say that duty of care was breached. The standard is of reasonable conduct or reasonable foresight. However, act need not to be flawless. In case of Donegal versus Stevenson, court held that manufacturers of products owe a duty of reasonable care to customers who use the products. Similarly, standard of duty of reasonable care will vary based on peculiar fact situation of every case. Whatever the facts and situations of a particular case will be, duty of care will vary according to that. In Donegal versus Stevenson, court held that manufacturers have a duty of care to the customers who will be buying and consuming the products that they are manufacturing, as I told you also. So reasonable foresight or reasonable conduct, it is very obvious that if you are manufacturing an article and if you are making it available into the market, then there will be some people who will be using it and consuming it. So it is reasonable foresight. You can very well predict that all those people who will be buying my product and consuming it will be directly affected by my actions. So if I am selling or if I am giving them any adulterated or low quality product, then it may happen one or two people out of them will get affected, they will fall ill. So breach of duty of care है अगर आपने उनको adulterated product या low quality product दिया, that means you have violated that duty of care. Harm to the claimant. Harm is the person falling ill. If you take that example of Donegal versus Stevenson. In case of Donegal versus Stevenson, negligence on part of manufacturer resulted in illness or injury to the claimant, or in second example, apartment catches fire because of petrol being stored in basement, causing damage to the tenants. So that is what I have told you. Now we come on to strict liability, and that I will be taking up in the next video.